Hello again everyone, I'm just back doing another bite-size update on some more documents that I get quite a bit of information from. So I'm just going to bring the camera down so you can see this one, so I can actually discuss this. This is to do with another report of Continental 321 over the south bend en route to Cleveland to Denver. Apparently this plane on 9/11 squawked a hijack code 3 times, and the code is pretty standard for hijacking is 7500. Now apparently this is transcripts of a lot of the radio air traffic control communications. This document, I'll show you the front of it so you know which document. And here they're actually talking, you can hear them, the transcript here, they're actually talking about this Continental flight. Now it squawked to hijack 3 times. Apparently they had contact with the pilot. The pilot told us everything was okay. Now that calls into question a little bit why the pilot would squawk the hijacking and then just apparently say everything's okay. So this is the paragraph here from the transcript. You know, they even say we're trying to determine why he squawked the hijack. So that's an interesting area, because I am, in my book that I'm writing, I'm covering a lot to do with the exercises that were going on that day, and I'm really drilling down into some quite a lot of information in these documents that people don't really talk about, which I think is important to do with what went down on 9/11 involving the real planes, if you get my expression there, because I can't really, by the way, say too much about my other let's just say personal opinions based on evidence to do with the other side of the book involving what we can't talk about on YouTube because you get censored or banned and your channel terminated. So I'm trying to keep my channel up and running. So but I'm going to go through some of these things. Now this is to do, this next page, just move this out of the way, that's where I want to. Now this is discussing the actual coordinate, the last actual coordinate of Flight 93, last known of United 93. Now if you've read my in-depth analysis of Flight 93 that I did in 2020, which I worked on for about at least 4 years before I published anything to do with that flight. It's pretty comprehensive, and I cover all the discrepancies. Now, what I do cover, and I want to bring this to the attention because this is where I get my sources from, and they are official. Then it's not a conspiracy theory or anything. I'm just reading from transcripts from the air traffic controllers in 9/11. Now they gave this coordinate. Now, if you put that into Google, which I did, this coordinate is actually 15 miles past the crash site of United 93. So, which is rather odd, shall we say. But that's a fact. They've quoted this is the last known Lat-Long coordinate. Now, in my article, if you go to my blog, I think it was in May 2020 when I finally finished it, you will see I'll actually cover about that, and I'll put it up on the map for people to have a look at. It's actually 15 miles past the crash site, which is interesting. So it's just something to think about. I'm just doing these little bite-sized videos to do the documents and my archive of documents that I have. And this is from, let's just have a look. It's another commission sensitive document 4th of November 2003. Air traffic control senior official. So yeah, if you can look them up. I am, like I've said this before, I am building a digital archive for everybody to do with this. Many of you know that I actually cover about the technology that was involved with the planes as well. So, but I can't talk about that on YouTube because I'll just get completely struck off. And unfortunately, YouTube is it's a platform for reaching people. So I'm just discussing the factual stuff, the official documents mainly, and trying to upload a lot of that. So, but if you want to see my other in-depth research to do with the things I can't talk about, like the technology involved in the planes, and what I really do think happened involving the other phrase I can't use to do with the planes, then head over to my blog. There's loads of stuff on there. I've got 10 years worth of research on there. Or otherwise you can watch the 9/11 Alchemy film, what Chris Hampton of Wolf Clan Media made. I actually worked on that film in a research capacity with Chris. So that was, I think it was about 8 or 9 months. We did solid research into the plane stories and actually spoke to some videographers. So yeah, just, head over there and watch that film. Give Chris some support. I know he's on Patreon, and I know he's making some new content soon. He's, he makes some brilliant documentaries. Support him if you can. He needs the support, because filmmakers like that don't get a lot of support, really. So yeah, check Wolf Clan Media out. I'm still in touch with Chris on and off. So we'll see what comes and what he's producing in future going forward. So that's it then for tonight. Yeah, check out this document if you get a chance. Have a good read through, because I've only touched on a couple of things out of it, and there's some really good nuggets in here, especially about a plane called Delta 89. And please don't get that confused with Delta 1989. This was a different plane. Suspected blip input, perhaps, or maybe a time with something I uploaded a few weeks ago about the ELT that went off in Ann Arbor in Michigan. We'll have to see about that when I explain a bit more about it. So thanks for all your comments anyway, and people, engaging with me. I appreciate that very much. And have a good evening, and have a good day wherever you are around the world. Bye.